Okay, today we are going to work on finding the area of figures that can be decomposed into triangles or rectangles, triangles and squares, triangles and rectangles. Remember from yesterday, this word just means that we are going to break these figures into pieces. We don't have a formula that's going to work for the whole figure. So I'm going to skip to this one and we're going to start working on this. So what you see right now is a trapezoid. That means that it is a quadrilateral. It has four sides, and that only two sides are right here parallel. So we have our top side and our bottom side right here that are parallel lines. Okay. Now what we're going to do is kind of the same thing we did with rectangles and squares. We are going to break this into figures or two shapes that we know how to find the area. We don't have an area formula for this weirdo shape, but what we do have is a formula that we can use right here. See how I broke that into a square and then a triangle, okay? I'm going to start by finding the area of this. I said square, it's not a square. This rectangle right here, okay? Now I'm going to use our formula for area of rectangle, base times height. Base times height, area equals, or my pen is not working great today, area equals base times height, and area equals 5 times 4, and I'm going to keep simplifying that, area equals 20 square meters, okay? So we have 20 square meters here, okay? Now that part is kind of easy, but we made our line right here to break this into a triangle and a rectangle. And now we need to work to find the area of this square, okay? Now what I notice is right here we have 5 meters. Do you guys see that that is the long side of our triangle? Do you notice that no other sides of our trapezoid make the right angle that we're looking for with 5? So we cannot use that 5-meter side for either our base or our height of our triangle. So I'm going to write our formula from last week, or I guess Monday, sorry, we worked on this, area of triangles. That formula is base times height divided by 2. Divided by 2. And remember, the reason why we divide by 2 is because every triangle is half of a square, half of a parallelogram, half of a rectangle. Okay? Okay, now we need to figure out what our base and our height is of this rectangle. Now, one thing we didn't do here, see how this top part of our rectangle is 5? What does that tell us about this bottom part just right here, from here to here? Oh, that tells us it's also 5 meters because, kind of like our regular figures yesterday, we know this whole base part is 8 meters. But just with that 8 meters, it doesn't really help us find this part, the base of our triangle. Okay, sorry, this got a little bit messy. I know I'm drawing a lot of stuff and writing a lot of things on here. But what we can do is kind of the same thing we did yesterday. If we know that this line from here to here is 8, and we know that this chunk is taken up by 5, we can use subtraction to figure out this part, our base of our triangle, is 3 meters. Okay, so I'm going to fill that in over here. 3. And now we need to figure out our height, okay? Now, do you notice that this makes a right angle with our base? So if we can figure out what this line is right here, that will give us our height. Oh, look, this side of our rectangle is 4 meters. That means this side also needs to be 4 meters. So we have a height of 4. 3 times 4 divided by 2. 3 times 4 is 12 divided by 2. Now this looks like an improper fraction. I'm going to box it in. Now we're going to divide 12 by 2, which is 6 square meters. Okay, now I know that's a lot of work, but we're not quite done. Square meters. We need to add this piece and this piece together to find our total area. So I'm going to do that in red up here in the corner. 20 plus 6 equals 26 square meters.